All right, I'm going to show you how to add a new individual into ShareVision. So I'm starting out here on the home screen, and the first step is going to be to locate your Contact Manager portal in the Quick Start menu. Mine's here somewhere in the middle, but the idea is yours could be essentially anywhere here. Every ShareVision site is different. So locate that Contact Manager portal, and you want to click through. Now, once you click through, it's going to bring us to this page here where it's going to ask us to execute a search before we're able to add in a new individual. So you don't actually even need to fill anything out in the search bar. We can click that search button. So as you can see here now, it changes the page. And what it's done is popped up that create a new contact button. Now, if you note that language, that doesn't actually say create new individual. And I'm going to explain why on the next page. Now it brings us to this page here where it lists out the different profile or contact types that we have. So now it's worth defining what actually is an individual in ShareVision. So an individual is defined as a supported individual or client, whatever your organization may call it, that is receiving service from your organization. So that means they're in a program, a residence, maybe both. It depends on what your organization provides. And the idea is that some point in the future, present, or past, they could be waitlisted or exited or currently receiving service, but they're at some point going to receive that service. The other two profile types exist because we understand that sometimes you want to capture information on those around a supported individual. So an example of professional or general contact would be a physician, a family doctor, a mental health worker, or a next of kin or a legal guardian. Most importantly, what we want to define is that individual. So that's what we're going to be focusing on here. They are the most important part. So we're going to click through on that individual. Now it's going to bring us to this page here where it asks us for some simple information on their names. So we're going to do test person tester. That's an easy name, very inspired. We're going to click save. It's going to bring us to this page here, which is their profile information. You can see it lists out a ton of information here. And it's up to you as an administrator what you actually want to capture on your new individuals. Not all of these are mandatory. In fact, none of them are. A mandatory field is denoted by a red asterisk by the title. And you can see all of these are optional. So for now, for the sake of this test, I'm just going to leave it all blank and click save. What it now brings us to is the fact sheet. So this is more information that you're able to input on your new individual here. We have a ton of information that's optional again. You don't have to add this all in. We have fields such as visual and hearing aids, diet and nutrition, and not all of this information might be pertinent to your organization. So again, as an administrator, it's up to you to pick and choose what you would like to fill out. And the idea is as you go along the getting started process and become more familiar with ShareVision, you're able to trim down some of these fields that you might not need for your organization. So for now, we're going to leave this all blank and we're going to click save. Now it's going to bring us to this page here, new contact, add to program or residence. So what we're going to do for the sake of this test is we're going to leave this on no. And for you in your early stages of getting started, when you're adding in a new individual, I would also like you to leave this as no for now. What we need when we're adding an individual into a program or residence is their program history start date. So we don't have that off the top of our heads now. So we're going to leave that as no. And you're able to go in at any time in the future and add these individuals into a program residence. So this isn't a big deal. This isn't your only chance. So we're going to leave this as no and click OK. That's going to bring us to this page here. And if you can see here, we have our person tester tester has been created. And we have this information here that we could have filled out that I left blank. We also see that we have this relationships. So this relationships portion is where we bring it back to that first section that we saw with the different profile types. If you remember, professional and personal contact. So this is where we would be able to add in one of those different contact types. And to do so, we would go here and click add profile. Now this is going to bring us exactly back to the starting point. And what we would need to do now is add in professional or general contact, which again would be a doctor or a legal guardian. And once we create that, you can see here that the individual is checked. So when we create one, again, it's not going to behave the same as an individual itself. These are basically kind of shell profiles that are just existing to be related to that individual so that we have information on those who are working around with them. But for now, we don't need that information. That's only optional if you would like to capture that. We can click through our individuals portal here. We actually have a bunch of test users. That's not the one we created. We have tester person here that we created and it was successful. We can go into their their page here, and we can see the fact sheet, we can see the individual profile, and all that information we left blank. At any time in the future, we can go in here and see these edit detail buttons here, these little green pencils, and we can actually edit these records at any time. So you skipped over that information on the first portion of it, you can go back at any time and edit that in. And it's as easy as that. We've created a new individual.